Hi there, I'm Ryan from CloudyIT. Today we're going to be talking about cybersecurity. I'm joined today by David Hall, Managing Director at CloudyIT, and Peter Elliot, Cybersecurity and Data Protection Partner here at CloudyIT. So David, let's start by talking about what the most common cybersecurity threats are that you see at CloudyIT.
Cheers, Ryan. So in terms of the cybersecurity threats that we're seeing here at CloudyIT is a managed service provider. We look after the security and IT interests of our customers. It's really important to keep your systems secure. So in terms of what we do, what do we see at the moment? We're finding obviously, your credentials are trying to be compromised. Such a huge thing. You've got to make sure that not only do you have complicated passwords, but you have multi-factor authentication turned on. Also, we're seeing things like phishing, whaling attempts happening all the time. It's really important to have an email security gateway. No longer is it enough just to be able to not click on something because it looks suspicious. Everything will be suspicious. You need to have some really good security. And then finally, we're seeing these socially engineered hacks where, basically your systems get hijacked. They start doing some information gathering on senior leadership, managers and directors. And then obviously what they try and do is compromise your systems and then socially engineer a situation where you're defrauded out of your hard-earned money. So really important in terms of keeping your credentials secure, using things like multi-factor authentication, having things to protect your emails, and then also being very aware of socially engineered hacks as well.
Thanks for that, Dave. That's really interesting. And can you tell me a little bit about what software we use to secure our client systems?
Thanks, Ryan, for that really interesting question. And taking security seriously is so important, and having a number of different security packages is really important to secure your IT systems from multi-vector attacks. So here at Cloudy, we have a number of different systems that we layer to ensure that your systems are protected. So first of all, we have Enterprise Mobility Security, EMS5, and that is kind of like antivirus for the cloud. It does a number of different things around protecting your data from ensuring conditional access, where it looks at where you're logging in from and actually restricts that access into your data, from encrypting your data to making sure you can run audits on where people have logged in from and what has been compromised, and we'll cover that a bit later. Also, we have the Web Secure Premium solution, which is our antivirus, DNS filtering, endpoint management product. And that allows us to ensure that your systems are patched, that they're secure, and that it's, if they are compromised, that we can get on top of it really quickly. And then we have our data safe range of services, which working with our security partner, Datto, allow us to ensure that your systems are backed up regularly, that there's business continuity as well. So if there is a problem, we can restore it really quickly and get you back up and running. And then finally, we have email security gateway systems. So we work with Mimecast, the world's #1 email security gateway company. And that ensures that not only have you got an adequate level, but you've got a really suitable level of protection for the threats that are coming in now. We'll talk a bit about that later on. So we've got a number of different products and services here at Cloudy. We take it ever so seriously about making sure that your systems are safe. We'll go on to talk about those in a minute.
Okay, Dave, that sounds like a great range of services there. Could you perhaps talk to us a little bit more about enterprise mobility and security?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to share my screen here for a second and show you some of the features within EMS5. And one of the features I want to hone in on is something called Cloud App Security. Now, Cloud App Security allows you to set a number of different rules around your data. Here at Cloudy, we set about sort of 15 to 16 rules, and this is your data in the cloud. I'll show you those in a minute. Also, what Cloud App Security allows you to do is to authenticate or sort of run reports on your data as well. So as you can see here, I'm logged into Cloud App Security, and it says we've got 4 alerts currently that are active in terms of unfamiliar sign-ins, infrequent sign-ins. We have a list here of all the users, and it's monitoring there. We can also see the number of files that could be affected or potentially infected there. So it's a bit of a dashboard here. We can see what's going on. Now, if I go into our policies section here, as I mentioned, we've set up a number of policies that's constantly monitoring your cloud in real time. And if I pick one of those, we've got here, for instance, unusual file download, impossible travel, where it looks at where you've logged in from and can see if you logged in from, say, Manchester, but then logged in from London, and within 30 minutes time, it's an impossible travel, and it will raise alert. And we've got one alert here, as you can see. And if I click on that alert, it will sort of say what's going on, and we can drill into it in more detail. So impossible travel is one example of a policy that you can set up. Here we're looking at the activity log now, and you can see here we've got the user test, and we've got one from Russia and one from the United Kingdom. But if I go back into the policies again, that is one of, say, 15 to 17 different ones that we set up. Another example of being able to investigate an attack is going into the activity log. And from here, we can see here that users, what they're doing and how they're doing it, and we can drill into that as well in terms of locations and stuff. So Cloud App Security is one example of how EMS5 really secures your data, and the way it allows you to be responsive to, if threats do happen, to investigate them very quickly and ensuring that they're not as severe as they might first appear, or if they are, obviously combating them very quickly. So that's one example I wanted to show you. I haven't got time to show you all of them at the moment because there are quite a few, but certainly that's one great one there that we find really useful here at Cloudy.
Okay, that's really useful, Dave. Thanks for that. So let's have a talk with Peter now about Cyber Essentials. So Peter, could you perhaps talk to us a little bit about the benefits of Cyber Essentials to small and medium-sized organisations?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, thanks a lot, Ryan, and thanks a lot, David. Some really good information there. So Cyber Essentials is a government-recognised certification. What it essentially does is it measures all of the security controls that your organisation has in place against a nationally recognised standard. So why should you, I guess the next question is, well, why do you need Cyber Essentials? David's talked about a lot of the different cybersecurity controls that Cloudy Group can help you put in place. Well, Cyber Essentials takes a holistic view of your organization's cybersecurity, and absolutely it helps if you've got some or all of those controls in place that David talked about. What I mean by a holistic nature is it'll take a look at lots and lots of different aspects of your security, not just technical controls, but also your policies and your procedures, and whether your staff are trained and so on. And once you've got the Cyber Essentials certification, you get that nice little Cyber Essentials logo that you can put on your website and on your promotional material that tells your customers and your clients that you care about cybersecurity and that their information is safe with you.
Okay, that's really fascinating, Peter. And so what are the specific controls that Cyber Essentials brings in?
Okay, yeah, so I mean, David's talked about a lot of the different, applications that you can put in that take care of your security. And I said that Cyber Essentials takes a holistic view. So it essentially looks at 6 areas within your organization of security. Clearly, your anti-malware is going to be one of them, that you've got a good anti-malware application running. Looks at passwords, which David mentioned earlier. Passwords are absolutely key to cybersecurity, and you cannot still be using the same password to access different applications. But not only that, you've got to have what they call a complex password, which will be at least 12 characters, which is Cyber Essentials requirement, and it has to be complex. So there needs to be different complex passwords to access different applications. Cyber Essentials asks about your firewalls and your network security. Make sure that those devices that you're using for that are secure. It assures that you have tiered access to information. What does tiered access mean? It means that do people within your organization have access only to the information they need? So a good example of that would be your finance and HR staff. Finance and HR staff need access to company finance information and information about your employees, but no one else needs access to it. So that's what tiered access means. It means Do you provide access to information only to those people in your organization that need it? And patching, David mentioned patching. Security patches these days are absolutely key, and Cyber Essentials requires that all security patches are installed within 14 days of release. And some of the solutions that David talked about can help you do that automatically, which is great. If you don't have those applications in place, you can address some of these by policy. And it is critical for Cyber Essentials, and in fact critical for your organization's security, that you do have an information security policy for your company. And you can then refer to that when you're answering the Cyber Essentials questionnaire. So that's just an example of some of the areas that Cyber Essentials covers. So it's a holistic certification, and it's a nationally recognized standard, and it's a good thing to have, and we can help you get it.
Okay, thanks Peter. Thanks for talking with us today. It's some really interesting information there. So we've got our Cybersecurity Summit coming up on the 30th of November. Why not take a look in the description below, and you can find out details of how to sign up for that, where we'll have other industry experts joining us, giving us their inside knowledge and tips. So whilst you're here as well, why not subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and leave a comment below. Okay, that's great, Dave. Thanks for that. And can you tell me, oh, for God's sake, and can you talk a little bit about what, for God's sake. Okay, Dave, thanks for that. That's great. And can you talk to us a little bit about what software you use to secure your client's systems? Dan's had to leave the room. He can't contain himself.